Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well, give you something to think about. And happy birthday to Sue and Carol and Candy. Whole lot of my peeps having birthdays today. Good morning, Jonelle. Welcome. Glad you are here. You're the first one rolling in today. That is good. So we have an outrageous openness chapter, and as I was whipping open the book, I'm thinking to myself, is there anything in here we haven't read recently? Guess what? Yes, there is. So, good morning, Beth. Welcome. Glad you are here. And there's Nancy. Good morning. Good morning. The rebels are in the house. This is good. So, yesterday was such a beautiful day here. Good morning, Barb. Glad you're here. My mindset is now of the opinion that when it's a choice between hanging out in the park and watching the ducks and geese and kids fishing and all the things or working, yeah. Good morning, Gwen. Welcome. Glad you're here. Watching. Yeah, see, I don't have geese near my home. That's the rabbits that are doing yeah, my poor tulips. Tulips must be a delicacy for rabbits, I guess. Yes, that's all over the park. That's all over the park. Not near the house though, because we're well away from the river. So, but boy, was the water high right up under the little bridge. So the ducks were all having to come up to the bridge, hop out, walk around the bridge, and jump back in. It was hilarious. But they problem solved with their little duck brains. So I thought that was quite interesting. View it as fertilizer. View it as fertilizer, perhaps. Yeah. So today, outrageous openness, letting the divine take the lead. Tosha Silver. We'll get to our chapter in a moment, but let's do a little settling and grounding. I am hearing the need among my clients, so I'm figuring it's widespread, of just grounding, just being present, just not saturating ourselves in social media. So again, I'm going to go back to the Rebecca Campbell quote: slowing down to the pace of our body, slowing down so that our body can embody our soul, just being present, just taking some time, sit and stare out the window for a bit, go for a drive with the window down, sit at the park, watch the birds, listen to the birds. There was a bird who was very chatty this morning at about 4:30. Fine by me. I was awake. So hang on. It's hanging right here. It'll drop in. It feels like a round of tapping for grounding would be a really good idea. A round or two. We'll see how many we do. Start on the side of the hand by the baby finger, karate chop spot. Just tap in there. You can do both of them at the same time. If you're feeling like you need a little extra dose of getting, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad she's at peace. Yes. Sometimes disembodying is what needs to come. Well, my sympathy to you and your hubby. Yeah, breath. Take a breath. Let's send some good energy to Barb and her whole family, to her mother-in-law, who's now free. Now free. The energy's still around. The energy's still around. Being free. Okay, inside corner of the eyebrows. And this is grounding. Feel the fingers tapping on your forehead. Outside corner of the eyes. I'm noticing my fingertips are very cool. What are you noticing? Under the eyes. This is just grounding us. Oh, I can feel the soles of my feet beginning to buzz. Okay, focus on the soles of your feet as you're tapping under your nose. Grounding through the soles of your feet and the base of your spine into Mother Earth, under the mouth. Feel into your body. What do you notice? Almost like doing a body scan, head to toe. What do you notice? Collarbone points. One of my favorite spots to tap because it is so grounding. Under the arms, like where your bra strap runs across. Grounding, grounding, grounding. And this is actually very helpful for clearing out your lymph system because your lymph system does not have a pump. Like your circulatory system has a heart, it has its own pump. But the lymph system gets flushed as we're moving around during the day. And since many of us don't move a whole lot, this is a powerful thing to do. I remember watching live, that was in on Hilton Head Island. It was at a conference, the National Association for the NICOBM. National, oh my God, it's behavioral medicine. Behavioral medicine. Anyway, so we were being taught to rub this whole area. And so she was inviting people up on the stage and rubbing here, and they're all going, because it hurts. It hurts a bit, especially if you are backed up, right? So now we're on the crown of your head. Now we're going to do one more quick sweep through that whole series. Inside corner of the eyebrows, outside corner of the eyes, grounding, flushing, clearing, under the eyes, under the nose, embodying, being in our body, under the mouth, collarbone, under the arms, and around the crown of the head. Nice deep breath in and out. Hopefully feel a little more present, a little more solid, grounded. So for those of you who like to read along in the book, again, Tosha Silver, Outrageous Openness, letting the divine take the lead. We don't always have to be trying to fix everything ourselves. And in fact, what if there's nothing broken? So this chapter is on page 104 for those of you who have the book and like to follow along. It's called Arsenic on the Rocks. Anyone? Two quotes at the beginning, and you know my belief about the two quotes at the beginning. It's always a good chapter when there's two quotes at the beginning. Run, my dear, from anyone and anything that does not strengthen your precious budding wings. That's Hafiz. And then Mevlana Rumi, set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. So no naysayers, no room for those who piddle on our parade, right? All right, so here we go. Take a breath. Let it go. I love to offer problems to the divine so unexpected solutions can blossom. In a sense, welcoming cosmic intervention is like planting a seedling. I love that concept. Welcoming cosmic intervention is like planting a seedling. You put the fledgling roots into the soil and then fertilize and water to allow for flowering. The more you protect the plant, the better it grows. So would you pour arsenic on that delicate thing to see if it could survive? Would you stick it in the burning sun for a week just as an experiment? Yet often, when we're in the midst of sprouting a new life, we continue to engage in the negativity and fear of others. Our new thoughts are germinating, our energy is awakening. We need to guard and nourish the new life. It's like putting a fence up around your garden so the raccoons don't rampage your lettuce. But how many of us do that? We come up with a great idea and we trot it out to precisely the person who's going to piddle on that idea. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Fear, probably, and lack of self-confidence. Your new ideas, your budding ideas, your brilliant solutions, your changes to life, keep them kind of close for a while. You know how you tend to a baby? You hold them close and you rock them a little bit, and you don't just hand them off to any old stranger and say, here, care for this for me. No, we take good care of. Do the same thing with these changes to your life. If you're going to change jobs, if you're leaving a bad marriage, if you're trying out a new gym program, if you're signing up for something, maybe play that a little close to the vest for a bit And for God's sake, don't trot it out to those people who are like, well, that could maybe not work out because my cousin tried that and no, 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 no. We don't need that kind of ick on our wow. All right. So she says, let's say you've lost your job and you're taking all of the spiritual steps I've been writing about. You call in divine order. You say that the perfect new work is already picked and will arrive in the right way at the right time. Divine right timing, divine right order, right? If need be, you put your worries about your future in your God box, in your God jar. You affirm that the breadcrumb trail will arrive, the perfect steps for action will be shown. You anchor in divine source. But as this process unfolds, you want to protect it. You can't indulge fear and negativity at the same time. You need time to sprout. So a good response, if someone does find out that you're in the middle of a transition like that, and they're like, "Oh, aren't you worried? Don't you? How you're ever going to make it through this?" But just say, "The answer's on its way. The answer's on its way. I am not going to fret about this, and I am not going to indulge in negativity. Thanks anyway. Go away now." So here's her story about that. A couple of years ago, I had to have an ovary removed. I wrapped the event in divine order, affirming that the perfect surgeon was already picked and that everything would unfold in the highest, most peaceful way. And it did until 2 days before. A phone message came late that night from an acquaintance. She started by saying she was only calling from the greatest love and caring. Right there, follow Hafiz's directions here. Run, my dear, from anyone and anything that does not strengthen your precious budding wings. This person is about to piddle on her post hosties. Then she launched into a bizarre recital of the world's most freak surgical disasters that might be visiting my own body sometime soon. She recounted with gusto everything from fatal allergies to anesthetics to a particularly riveting tale about a gal who died when a scalpel was left in her colon by an absent-minded surgeon. If I hadn't been shaking in fear, I would have been falling over with laughter. An hour later, I saw that I had absorbed all of her energy. I shook it off, soaking in a lavender bath for cleansing. By morning, I was calm and the surgery went well. And I learned to not drink other people's poison, even when it's offered with love. So, yeah. Do you ever find yourself doing that? Being the person who, I was very attentive to what Lauren was hearing as she moved closer to labor and delivery with Scarlett. And I said to her, there are going to be those people who want to share their horror stories. Don't buy in and don't listen. For God's sake, don't listen. Everyone's story is individual. And when your mind is in a good spot, you are doing what you can do to make things go well. Plus, you have your mother as an advocate in the room. Okay, when's this going to happen? Where's that? We need to be protective of ourselves and of our people when there are those around who are just the harbingers of negativity. They come slogging into the room. They kind of do the Eeyore thing. Oh, I think it's going to rain. We do not care to indulge that. We do not care to indulge that. Welcome to all the others who popped on. I see there's more names. Yes, yes, exactly. We have to be willing to allow those who will go to battle for us be present. Be present. Hold the line. Set the boundaries. There was conversation last night on a Zoom call I was on, and my thought was part of the reason this is messed up is several people not setting good boundaries. Not setting good boundaries. And is it always fun to set good boundaries? No. No, sometimes, I mean, especially if it's like this kind of a person who swears they're just telling you all this junk for your own benefit, blah, blah. To stop them can be uncomfortable, but it's so wise. It's so, I don't want to hear the negative stuff. I'm really focusing on divine right timing and divine right order and everything going well. And that's what I'm indulging in. So if you want to talk about that stuff, we can. But I'm not talking about the terrible, horrible, awful. We're not going there. Say it. Now, I'm blunt, so I would probably say it like that. You can pretty it up however you want. Just make sure you don't pretty it up so much that you dismantle the message. Make sure it's clear. We're not going there. I'm invoking divine right timing and divine right order. The perfect whatever is already chosen. It's on its way to me in divine right timing and divine right order. I'm so happy and grateful to receive it. So happy and grateful to receive it. So that's how we begin to stand up for ourselves, for our fledgling ideas, for our new adventures, all the things, right? And in ourselves, let's put some checks and balances in place. So if we're the one raining on someone's parade, we take the step back. And yes, there are times when, like, if someone, okay, I'm going to put all of my money in cryptocurrency, to say, you might want to research that a little more. Try this site. But then shut your mouth. If that's their path, if that's what's going to um, help them learn what they need to learn, sometimes it's not a pretty path. Sometimes it is not a pretty path for others. We get to make our choice about our path, though. What path do I choose to walk? Regardless of what's going on around me, what path do I choose to walk? So I'm going to read that quote again at the beginning because I just think, well, I'm going to read them both because they're both spot on. Run, my dear, from anyone and anything that does not strengthen your precious budding wings. Hafiz. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Mevlana Rumi. Mevlana Rumi. So for today, perk up your intuitive ears. Listen to what you're hearing. Is what you are hearing from others building you up or tearing you down? If it's building you up, seek more. If it's tearing you down, extract yourself from that circumstance. I'm going to go for a walk now. I got to go do some laundry. I'm hungry. I'll be back in a bit. Whatever it is, you don't need to listen to the negativity. Make yourself scarce. So, have an awesome Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye bye.